everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger, here with my new Empowered Moments video for the month of December 2022. Can you believe we're at the end of this year of two, all of those two energies. And next year we'll have a brand new energy that, of course, we'll talk about as we near that month of January 2023. But for this month, we're going to talk about some planets shifting in directions. We're going to talk about some planets changing signs. So there's a fair amount going on this month. And we'll talk about the energy vibration, according to numerology, of what this month is all about as well. Now, when we get to the card messages, the main message for the collective is going to be coming from the Syrian Starseed Tarot by Patricia Corey and Alyssa Bartha. And your special message card this month of December, based on your stone of choice, is going to be coming from the Shaman's Dream Oracle deck by Alberto Villaldo and Colette Barron Reed. So before we get into the energy of this month of December, let's go ahead and do an empowered moment. So if you can find yourselves in whatever seat you're sitting in, or if you want to lie down, you can do that. Close your eyes, relax your body, clear your mind of all thoughts. Focus on this present moment, the here and now. Visualizing, sensing, seeing, feeling, or just knowing that you're surrounded in golden white light of protection and guidance and healing, that golden white light of universe, God's source energy, all that is. Take in a deep breath and breathe in that golden white light, breathing it into every cell of your body. As you exhale, release and let go of all that your body, mind, and soul no longer needs. And in this month of December, we've got the winter solstice for those of us that live in the northern hemisphere, the time when the sun moves into Capricorn, signifying a time of inward self-reflection. We've got Neptune, planet that rules the spiritual realm, shifting back into direct motion, amplifying and magnifying his energies of psychic impressions, healing energies, and dreams. We also have Chiron, the wounded healer, shifting back to direct motion, amplifying and magnifying his energies of healing past life wounds, releasing and letting go of energies from the past that no longer serve our best and highest interest. And as we reflect on those perspectives, as we focus on the winter solstice, and for those of you in the southern hemisphere, the summer solstice, as we reflect on both Neptune and Chiron shifting to direct motion and what their energies are all about, let's ask for a clearing and a purging, a releasing and a healing as we near the end of 2022 of all that we no longer need to carry as we get ready to move into 2023. It's a time of meditation, going within, quiet solitude, self-reflection, a time to connect with our angels, guides, our higher soul self, our inner child, a time to bring whatever healing physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually is in our best and highest interest as we round out this year of 2022 and all that it brought to us, all of the gifts, all of the higher awareness, all of the wisdom, and yes, all of the challenges, as it's made us stronger and more resilient. Let's breathe in that intention, breathing it into every cell of your body. Exhaling, letting go, relaxing into that idea, that thought even more. Giving thanks for all we have learned this year, and thanking our spiritual helpers who have assisted us and guided us along the way. One last deep, healing, cleansing, balancing breath. And as you exhale, and when you're ready in your own time, you can open your eyes, returning to this time, this place. And we can now look at our stones of choice for that special message card a little bit later, before we get into the energies of this month. So our first stone of choice, this is bloodstone. You can see both the front and the back have that wonderful deep red, that rich red color against the green. So the bloodstone, this activates our root chakra, which activates our physical energy and vitality. It also has an activation with the heart chakra and healing emotional wounds, old emotional patterns. It's a great stone for protection, strength, and courage, and again brings healing physically and emotionally especially, but even mentally and spiritually. So that's the bloodstone. Our second stone of choice, this one is tourmalinated quartz. That's quite a mouthful, right? Tourmalinated quartz. It's clear quartz, white quartz, and you can see all these little tourmalations, and that is black tourmaline, which is why they call it tourmalinated quartz, because of that black tourmaline within that white quartz. Now, this one is a great stone for protection, because black tourmaline is a great stone for protection, and the white quartz amplifies and magnifies that protection. It protects us from especially negative thoughts or emotions, helps to release negative patterns, helps us with detoxification, purification, helps us with grounding, and it strengthens the aura. Okay, and then our last stone of choice here is called rainbow calcite. It looks like, red calcite or orangish red, but it's actually, when I picked this up recently, and actually I picked all three of these up very recently at a metaphysical store here in South Carolina. This is called rainbow calcite, also sometimes called Aztec calcite or Inca calcite. Now, this one helps to cleanse the body and the energy field of discordant energies. This one helps to clear blocks or blockages. It removes all types of negative energies. It is called a sustaining stone, or the sustaining stone, because it helps to sustain us during times of emotional turmoil and stress. Okay, so again, our stones of choice are bloodstone, tourmalinated quartz, and rainbow calcite. Okay, so let's talk about the energy vibration of the month of December. Okay, we take the universal year for 2022, which is a 6 when we add that together. So we're in a 6 universal year. We take that universal year number, we add it to December, the month in question, which is a 12 vibration. It's the 12th month of the year. So 12 plus 6 is 18. Now, if we add that 1 and the 8 together to get a reduced single digit, it's a 9 vibration. Well, isn't that appropriate? This is the last month in the year of 2022, and the 9 vibration, it's the last of the single digits. So it's a time of completion and endings and releasing and healing and letting go and going with the flow and surrendering to the divine plan. That's all a part of the number 9. The number 9 can also be quite spiritual, artistic, creative, musical. You know, it's all that kind of almost Piscean energy that goes with that number 9. So if you're a Pisces, this might feel like a really good vibration for you. Now, let's look at the number 18. It's not a master number or a karmic number, but if we look at the 18th major arcana in the tarot, it is, in the Syrian Starseed Tarot, it's called Luna. Now, this is the moon card, right? The 18th major arcana is the moon in the traditional tarot. Here we have a wonderful full moon. We have this ocean wave that's kind of cresting and rising and expanding, and that's kind of metaphoric for our emotions. The moon rules our emotional body. It rules our emotions, our intuitions, our empathic nature, our subconscious. And so this is the emotions kind of cresting and rising and expanding. That this may be an emotional month. Now, the moon is full of mystery and magic. It's very closely aligned with the priestess card in the tarot. So we've got some priestess energies here with tapping into our intuition, our internal guidance, our emotions and what feels right, our clairsentience, our empathic abilities. This is going to be a month where we empathically feel other people's thoughts, emotions, and what they're going through, where we can maybe tap into our own subconscious to understand our subconscious patterns and our emotional patterns a little bit more, our emotional triggers as well. We have a greater awareness and understanding of what emotionally triggers us. Now, this may amplify around the full moon, which it always does. The full moon always amplifies our emotions and our intuitions and our psychic sensitivity and our ability to heal those subconscious patterns. This full moon we will mention, we'll talk about a little bit later on when that occurs and what sign it's in, so that you have a little bit more information on what this Luna card, this moon card, is all about. But again, numerologically, this is the vibration of the month. So let's go ahead and talk about the astrology for the month. Now, this is the highlights of the astrology. The day-to-day or week-to-week you'll get in the weekly Empowered Moments videos. But the ones that stand out are on the 3rd of December, we have Neptune, ruler of the spiritual realm, ruler of things that are intangible or unseen, because it rules the spiritual realm. Neptune is turning back to direct motion at 22 degrees of Pisces. Just when I said that, I realized that 22 is a master number. So that's interesting in and of itself, that this is at the 22nd degree of Pisces. Now, Pisces, where Neptune is, and the sign that Neptune actually rules, also rules our psychic, intuitive, and healing abilities, also rules the spiritual realm and connection with our angels and guides and things that are, again, intangible and unseen, which can sometimes lead to confusion, illusion, delusion, which Neptune also rules. Neptune rules lack of boundaries, lack of feeling grounded, just feeling like we're floating. Our dreams get more intensified and magnified during this time. So you might find yourself remembering your dreams and your dreams being more active during this time and maybe more prophetic during this time as well. All of the things that Neptune rules, the things that I've just mentioned, and you might want to look up what else Neptune rules, but all of these things are going to be amplified on and around the 3rd. We're going to feel it probably up to a week before, so in the end of November we'll be feeling it. And a few days after the 3rd of December, while Neptune is stationing to turn back to direct motion. Stationing means it comes to a standstill, it comes to a stop at that 22nd degree of Pisces. What does master number 22 mean? Well, master number 22 is the master manifester or the master builder. So when we think about Pisces, Pisces is great at visualization and using their imagination and artistic creativity. Pisces isn't always that great with manifestation, but perhaps that it's at the 22nd degree of Pisces, which is the master manifestor energy. I think we can kind of combine our imagination, inspiration, our visualization capabilities to help bring things into manifestation. Another thing that Master number 22 can also somewhat be focused on is that double 2 vibration, which deals with relationships and partnerships and needing to balance and stay in a place of peace and equality and compromise within all types of relationships and partnerships. So again, have good boundaries. Try to establish good boundaries, which is kind of hard with Neptune. But you have to make more of a concerted effort of having the awareness of, hey, this person's crossing that boundary, or maybe I'm crossing over this boundary line within this relationship. So boundaries may be an issue right now. Also, we're going to have more sensitivity emotionally and energetically just across the board, which is why our psychic and intuitive abilities are a little bit stronger with Neptune turning back to direct motion. But we can also be more sensitive to foods that we're eating, medicines that we're taking, which includes vitamins or prescribed medications. We might find that we're more psychically sensitive to people's energies, not just their emotions, but just the energy that they're carrying or the energy of certain places that we're surrounding ourselves in or going to. So just be aware of that with that particular transit. And then on the 6th of December, we have Mercury. Is that Mercury? Yes. Mercury is moving into Capricorn. Now, this is the beginning of our transition away from Sagittarius energies, which is fire, and mutable, which means changeable and exciting and enthusiastic, like fire is, right? Very passionate energy. We're starting to slowly transition now with the personal planets into Capricorn energy, which is an earth sign, more practical, more grounded, and definitely goal-oriented. So Mercury, which rules our thoughts, our ideas, our perceptions, and our communications or information, messages, is moving into more grounded, practical Capricorn on the 6th. It's going to stay in Capricorn an extra long time. Normally, it won't stay in a sign of the zodiac for more than 3 or 4 weeks at a time. But Mercury is going to be in Capricorn from December 6th until February 11th, because it's going to end up later this month, turning to retrograde motion in the sign of Capricorn. So yes, we have another Mercury retrograde coming up. It's more in a grounded, practical sign, so we're going to have to wait and see how that kind of unfolds. But it gives us a time to review and reflect and revamp and research and all of those rewords that is associated with a Mercury retrograde, especially when it comes to career, life path, destiny path, our goals and projects that we're physically working on. And then on the 7th, the next day of December, the 7th of December, we have a full moon at 16 degrees of Gemini. This means that the sun is at 16 degrees of Sagittarius. So again, our moon, our Luna card here, is in that mental, analytical, intelligent, information-based sign of Gemini. So not just our emotions are magnified, but I want to say our changeable thoughts, because Gemini is a mutable sign, which means it's vacillating and changeable. So you might find that both our emotions and our thoughts and perceptions are all over the place with the full moon in Gemini at that time. Now, that full moon at 16 Gemini is going to be connecting with, or conjuncting as we call it, Mars in Gemini, which is currently retrograde. Mars in Gemini since, I think it was September, October, November. It's been kind of this changeable, vacillating, unsure of what decision or what path to take or make kind of energy, as I'm sure you all know. So the fact that the full moon is connecting with this changeable, vacillating Mars, planet of energy, action, and forward movement, and this changeable, vacillating sign of Gemini, it's going to be quite probably an interesting and ungrounded sort of energy for that full moon. On the 9th of December, we've got Venus, the ruler of love, relationships, money and finances, values, self-worth, transitioning out of Sagittarius and moving into Capricorn. So Venus will be joining Mercury in the sign of Capricorn. She's not going to be in Capricorn as long as Mercury. She stays in Capricorn until January 2nd, so not quite a full month. So in relationships and partnerships, she's much more practical and grounded, more serious. And with money, finances, and personal resources, again, she's more goal-oriented and determined to make something happen, or work on it to make it kind of bring in a state of security for herself. Okay, and then we're going to skip over to the 20th of December. On the 20th of December, we have another planet changing signs. This time it's Jupiter. Jupiter is leaving Pisces once again and moving into Aries once again. If you remember, and I don't have the dates written down, but back a few months ago, I think it was even the end of 2021, Jupiter went into the sign of Aries. Went all the way up to, I think it was 7 or 8 degrees Aries, and then went retrograde. And just as of recently, the past few weeks, it dipped back into Pisces. So Jupiter likes to expand whatever it touches. And it's been expanding again in the last couple of weeks, this Pisces energy, expanding our mind, our spiritual awareness, expanding our belief systems and how we're perceiving or seeing ourselves or the world or certain situations and circumstances. But still, because it's Pisces, maybe expanding us into, again, this unsuredness, this confusion, this lack of clarity, this lack of feeling grounded in our plans or decisions to move in a certain direction. Now, on the 20th of December, again, it moves back into Aries. So it might give us a little bit of relief from that confusion and illusion. Jupiter is going to expand the Aries energies now, and it's going to stay in Aries from the 20th of December until May 16th of 2023. So it's expanding our self-identity, our independence, our sense of self, our confidence, our courage, our initiating abilities. So Jupiter likes to expand into wide horizons. And it's going to be initiating, again, new beginnings, because Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So initiating and expanding into new beginnings, expanding into that confidence of where we're going in those new beginnings, expanding again into our confidence within our self-identity and sense of self. So this is a good thing. This is going to feel, again, not that Jupiter in Pisces was bad. It wasn't. It had its own gifts for sure. But this is going to give us a little bit more of a sense of ourselves again. And then on the 21st, the next day, the sun moves into Capricorn, joining both Venus and Mercury. Now, of course, the sun stays in Capricorn for the next month. So around the 20th, 21st of January, it'll be in Capricorn. So now we've got those three personal planets really focused in on that practical, conservative, goal-oriented, serious Capricorn energy. On the 23rd, we have Chiron, the wounded healer and shaman, turning back to direct motion at 11 degrees of Aries. So Chiron rules, again, these past life wounds, fragmentation, kind of bleed through of previous lifetime perceptions or energies or patterns. It's in the sign of Aries. So again, it's about the sense of self, our self-identity, our independence. So there may have been a lot of wounds that were deeply needing to be looked at while Chiron was retrograde the past few months. Now that it's turning back to direct motion, we can take all that we learned when Chiron was retrograde as we went within and kind of looked within ourselves and our own sense of self to bring healing to different parts of ourselves, to bring those fragmented energies back into a state of wholeness and balance, to bring healing to ourselves. Now we can project that healing back out. We can take what we've learned within and kind of bring it out with that confidence and that courage again, taking charge, initiating, and just feeling again more of a sense of balance within ourselves. We also, on the same day as Chiron turning direct, we have a new moon. So new moons are about new beginnings. This one is at 1 degree of Capricorn. So the new moon, again, new beginnings are within this practical, grounded, goal-oriented nature. So again, it's towards the end of December. It's getting towards the first of a new year when we start thinking about reflecting on the past, which is good for the new moon, previous to the new moon anyway, right? Reflecting on the old, healing the old emotional energies, reflecting on this past year and what we have or have not accomplished, what our goals and intentions are going to be for the next year, what we have yet to do as far as actions towards what we want to manifest and realize, and also what we wish to still heal within ourselves as we move into the next year energy. So there's initiation of this energy dynamic. On the 29th, Mercury, planet that rules again the mental realm, is turning to retrograde motion at 24 degrees of Capricorn. So since it went into Capricorn on the 6th of December, it went all the way up to 24 degrees by the 29th of December, turning retrograde. And it's going to be retrograde until, let's see, January 18th is when it turns back to direct motion. Of course, it'll still be in Capricorn. It goes all the way back to, let's see, from 24 degrees all the way back to 8 degrees of Capricorn when it turns back to direct motion on January 18th. And when does it get out of Capricorn? I don't know that I wrote that down, but it's going to be sometime in February before it moves on to the next sign of the zodiac, which would be Aquarius by then. Okay, is there anything else we need to talk about? Mars is still retrograde this month. It's not turning back to direct motion until January, but in this month or within this month of December, it's going to be retrograding back to 9 degrees of Gemini by the end of December. And then from the first 2 weeks of January, it only retrogrades back to 8 degrees. So one more degree until it turns back to direct motion on January 12th. So again, that vacillating, confusing, unsure, changeable Gemini mental energy where Mars is at is still kind of causing a little bit of not being sure of decisions or which direction to take or what path to follow. So if you're still feeling that, you might start to have some clarity mid-January, but there's still going to be things to work through until Mars moves out of Gemini and into Cancer, which is not going to be until March. All right, so that's a little bit about the astrology. Let's see what the messages from our angels and guides are from the Syrian Starseed Tarot. So the first card is the Master of Chalices. Now, this is like the King of Cups. I felt like when I saw this card, when I pulled this card out in my meditation and, shuffling and getting ready for the video, the King of Cups, he's the leader, he takes charge, he's the authority, he's mature within the realm of emotions, within the realm of intuition, psychic abilities, healing, empathic energies. And it's interesting that we see these two eyes kind of up in the sky. We've got the ocean here, which is the cup suit, right? The chalices suit, which is the emotions. Water is the emotions. But the eyes are up in the sky, and it really was reminiscent of Neptune, ruler of the spiritual realm, turning back to direct motion at 22 degrees of Pisces, which is a water sign. So again, this was reminiscent of that magnification of that Neptune and Pisces energy, psychic abilities, intuitions, epiphanies, dreams being active and more clear, or prophetic dreams, connection with our angels and guides, or those family members or friends that have passed over to the other realms, to the higher realms, higher spiritual awareness, energetic sensitivity, overall emotional sensitivity. What am I missing? There was something else I wanted to say, but I don't remember. But all those things that we talked about when we talked about Neptune direct is, I think, this Master of Chalices. And again, connecting with, I think maybe I didn't say higher soul self, and that's what I wanted to say. It's like connecting with our higher selves, our higher spiritual selves. And again, connecting with universal energies, energies of the cosmos, the mystery and the magic, and surrendering to that. It's like we have to surrender with the Master of Chalices. We have to surrender with Neptune and Pisces and go with the flow and trust and have faith in the divine timing and the divine plan for ourselves. And I feel like that's what we're talking about here when we see the Master of Chalices. Let's take a look at the next card here. Okay, the next card is the Eight of Orbs. This is like the Eight of Swords in the traditional tarot. The Eight of Swords can feel like we are trapped in some sort of mental energy that we don't want to be trapped in. So the number eight can really kind of work with the third dimension. I want to say it's a very third dimensional number. In other words, it's not emotional. It's not necessarily mental, although this is the suit of orbs or swords, so it is mental. But the number 8 deals with earthly manifestation things like career, life path, destiny path, finances, money, possessions. The number 8 deals with sometimes finality on a manifested level of things. It deals with power and control issues in the third dimensional reality. And so again, in the suit of orbs or swords, we might be having some power issues within our own mind, maybe with other people and communications with other people, yes. But we might be feeling disempowered or like we're lacking a sense of control over our mind and our thoughts and our perceptions. We're feeling trapped. You can see the circle of orbs here circling around this person, and she's kind of in this vine, she's kind of all tied up where she feels like she can't move. She feels like she's stuck. She feels like she's challenged. She feels like, she wants to be set free of all this negative mindset energy. And interestingly enough, in this card, we even have a stream here. So again, it might pull in some of the emotional stuff as well as the mental. But we're feeling a little bit held back. We're feeling a little bit like we're in a cage or trapped or tied up. The traditional Eight of Swords, sometimes not even the traditional, but I have other Eight of Swords cards and from other decks where they're in a cage or in a prison cell, or something like that. So it's kind of like we think we're trapped or imprisoned within our own negative thoughts and emotions, but we're not really. All we have to do is sweep away these negative perceptions and thoughts. All we have to do is start to untangle and untie the knots from that vine that seems to be tying us up. Usually it's something of our own making. It's something that, our ego mind is getting away with us. And all we have to do is shift our perspective, shift our perception, and take our power back. And again, maybe we have to take our power back in a communication aspect with another person, but a lot of times we just have to take our power back within our own minds and what we're thinking, seeing, perceiving. So I think that, this is a part of that self-reflection energy, some of the shifting of the planets shifting directions or moving into new signs, that Capricorn energy, which can be sometimes a little heavy or serious or conservative. And yes, sometimes even Capricorn can get in kind of this stuck in a rut, depressing sort of energy. Not always, right? It can take charge too. It's a leader and takes charge and has goals and is able to work very determined through any challenges to get to their goals. But here it's just showing that we might feel a little bit stuck in the moment. This might be part of Chiron energy as well. So it's, healing some of that feeling of stuckness or the idea that we're stuck in some way when really we don't have to be. All right, let's look at the last card. And the last card is Major Arcana number 9, called Reflection in this deck. Yes, this is the Hermit in the traditional tarot. So you can see the Hermit here. He's holding his staff, which has a lantern on the end of it. The traditional meaning of the hermit is looking in to find your own light and to light your own way on your own path, to not necessarily be too pulled in any direction outside of yourself, right? The hermit is a loner, and he needs to kind of spend some alone time. And I'd say, with especially the full moon in Gemini coming up, that's probably especially true. We need to kind of calm down any external noise, so to speak. And we need to spend some alone time in self-reflection, meditation, having our own personal space. And again, getting in touch with our own inner spiritual light and our own inner wise one, right? The hermit is a wise teacher, a wise person. So we need to get in touch with our inner wisdom, our inner guide, our inner wise one, and ask our higher soul selves, basically, to illuminate anything within us that needs to be illuminated, and to illuminate our path forward. Again, as we're nearing the end of this year, it might not be a time to take action yet, but we can have an illuminated path, or ask for an illuminated direction, ask for some clarity. Now, again, it might not be forthcoming until we move towards the second half of January or even into March, but we still are doing a lot of kind of internal self-healing and, again, illuminating parts of ourselves, that wisdom within us that's going to aid us as we move into 2023. All right, let's take a look at the special message card depending on your stone of choice. Those of you that chose the Bloodstone, special message for Bloodstone people. Special message for Bloodstone people. This one's sticking up. Horseman, herald of change. So here horse, I'm a fire horse in Chinese astrology, so I like to see the horse there, right? The horses are wild and free and liberating, right? When you gallop through a field on a horse, you feel liberated and free. And this one is just, it's not galloping, it's kind of just bucking up in the air. It's getting ready. It's getting ready for some new adventure. It's getting ready for some new energy. It's feeling confident. It's kind of bucking up into the light, and it's getting ready for some sort of change, I would say, as we move into the new year, right? So get ready for the change. Get ready to feel liberated. Get ready for the excitement. Get ready to gallop forward. It may not be quite yet. The number 30 here, the number 3 in numerology, is about our belief systems and our perceptions. So I want to say that it's on a mental level first, like we're preparing for change on a mental level. We're shifting our belief systems to a positive, like we're rooting for 2023 and our new intentions and what the new year is going to hold, and feeling more expanded into the light, more expanded into our confidence, more expanded into our courage, and getting ready to move forward, getting ready to feel free and liberated in the next few weeks as we move into that new energy. There's change coming. And I'd say again, maybe when Mars in Gemini turns direct in the middle of January, get ready for some changes to start manifesting. I'm just thinking of the universal year for 2023. And the vibration of January will be more of a strong, confident energy, that's for sure. All right, we put that back in the deck, and now the tourmalinated quartz, special message for tourmalinated. It's almost hard to say. Quartz, people, tourmalinated quartz. Oh boy, you know what? I was gonna choose this one in the middle, but there's some stuck together, and then this one kind of popped up on the bottom. Garden of Venus. Well, this is appropriate. Rest and renewal. Garden of Venus, rest and renewal. So this is a month, usually, right, as we near that winter solstice, summer solstice for those in the southern hemisphere, is a time of rest and renewal. It's a time for peace and quiet. It's a time to reflect. And this is quite a beautiful card, isn't it? Garden of Venus. We've got birds and butterflies and a castle in the background and all these wonderful blooming flowers. And although winter in the northern hemisphere, you don't see a lot of flowers blooming, but we can, in our imagination, see the beauty, imagine the beauty, put ourselves in that place of rest and relaxation that we need to go within and have some quiet healing time. Maybe healing bath or massage or Reiki or something that's very relaxing for you. Maybe exercise is relaxing for you. Maybe listening to music is relaxing for you. Maybe working on a particular creative project is relaxing for you. Whatever it might be for you, I think in this time of rest and relaxation is where our imagination and inspiration can kind of be highlighted and activated, right? We can imagine the goals in the background, the goals off in the not too distant future when we move into the new year. What do we want to accomplish, right? This castle in the background. What do we want to imagine? The beauty, the blessings, the gifts from the universe that we want to imagine. This is a time to use the imagination, especially with Neptune turning back to direct motion, right? Neptune rules the imagination and our ability to kind of see with our third eye and our mind what it is we want to create for ourselves. So put yourself in that mindset for now. It's not action oriented. It's feminine surrender. It's healing. It's restful. It's peaceful. So this is the special message for you for this month of December. I just got a quick blip that Venus does rule relationships as well as finances. So there might be something associated with relationships and finances with this Garden of Venus card as well. It's something that's more along the lines of though surrender and peace, right? It's not action. So be at peace within your relationship, feel blessed in your relationships, give thanks for your relationships. Maybe imagine or in your place of stillness, use your imagination to create the abundance and prosperity financially that you desire. Use that Venus energy in that way. Okay. And then for those of you that chose the rainbow calcite. Rainbow calcite. Oh, this one just was definitely sticking up when I opened my eyes. It says drifter. Experiencing life as it comes. Well, this is very appropriate too. Again, Neptune turning direct is all about surrender. Winter solstice, it's all about going within and just being still. So it's just kind of like floating through life, drifting through life, being at peace in life, just surrendering to the divine plan, not necessarily thinking about what's going to happen, when is it going to happen, but just having faith and trust and surrendering into what will unfold when the time is right. Experiencing life as it comes, taking each moment by moment as it comes, being grateful for the present moment. Again, not projecting too far out into the future. This is a time to be in the present moment. Capricorn, grounded in the present moment, okay? When we were in Sag energy, Sag was all over the place. The past, the present, the future, and bouncing back and forth. Now as we're starting to move into those planets moving into Capricorn, we want to be still and silent, secure and grounded, and in the present moment for ourselves. So just kind of, be that drifter, be that one that surrenders to how everything unfolds and when and how and why. It's going to come when it comes. Take each step in the present moment, knowing what your end goal is, but not holding too tightly or projecting too much on it, but just be in the present moment. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to the last monthly reading here for the year of 2022. It's been quite the year, as I'm sure a lot of you agree. I am sending all of you much love and light and peace and healing as we wind up this year and get ready for 2023. So, sending you many blessings. Namaste.